Hey, what's up guys, it's Uchiha here, back another part of What If Naruto the Blonde's Future. Before continuing this part, I have to tell you guys that I uploaded that What If Naruto Was in a Political Marriage part 26. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out as well after watching this video. And leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's continue our story. Last time we left off when Naruto fought Pain and everyone else's reaction was pretty much sober and tense. And we're going to continue where we left off when Naruto became the hero of the village. Now back in the audience, after watching everyone celebrate and tossing Naruto in the air. From being scorned by the villagers to becoming the hero of the leaf, Tsunade looked at Naruto proudly. He did Minato and Kushina well. The clock showed it would be almost 9 in the evening by 10 to 15 minutes later. We shall be taking our leave first. Please do notify us if Sasuke is to appear anytime soon, Fugaku said as he bowed down. Hiruzen nodded. Are you all able to continue for one more memory? Inoichi asked. We're not children, Inoichi-sensei, Obito said. Let's keep going then. Inoichi snorted, breaking out into a smile. Very well. Tsunade and Jiraiya agreed as well, showing that they wanted to continue. The orb appeared once again, signaling that a new memory is to start. So, where and when are we? Hiruzen asked. Naruto looked at the memory, instantly noticing that shaded Shinobi. This is where I got the Nine Tails Chakra form. That's B, the host of the Eight Tails. I remember him. I had a confrontation with him just recently. He was pretty skilled. Back with the orb. Okay, then I'm going to close the door. I'll show you what to do with the Nine Tails. Naruto entered his mindscape, back with the audience. Well, the place looks a lot cleaner too and bright. A nice change of pace, Kushina smiled, though he still looks as grumpy as ever. She shivered as she looked at the fox snarling through the bars, back with the orb. Naruto, you. Where is the real you? The Nine Tails eyes Naruto suspiciously. I'm here, right before your eyes. Naruto leaped forward and pulled the ceiling tag away from the lock. Naruto's hand lit up with flames as he plunged them into his stomach. The gate seal slowly unspiraling as it opened. Naruto and the Nine Tails started and stared at each other for a beat before Nine Tails lashed out. I see, so you want to control my power. Come at me. Naruto entered Sage mode and pushed the Rasengan at the Nine Tails, who easily blocked it with its tails. Back with the audience, the Nine Tails is strong as ever, Minato commented. His team watched with bathed eyes, never leaving the screen. As the scene played, it showed Naruto being consumed by the Nine Tails' hatred, sinking to his knees. This isn't good for my heart. Kushina tried to calm her beating heart. Maybe Minato appeared like before. Kushina appeared before him. Naruto. Back with the audience. Hey, it's me. Kushina pointed at the screen. Back with the orb. What? What a person doing here? Try to guess who I am, Naruto. Kushina waited. Sorry about that, guys. Try to guess who I am, Naruto. Kushina waited. Have you gotten who I am? Naruto gasped. Ah, you're the Nine Tails' true form. Kushina started to laugh. What an evil laugh. You think you can trick me by transforming into a woman? He was cut off. She punched him on the head, hair flaring dangerously. You're wrong, you know. Back with the audience. Minato reflexively inched further away from Kushina, a sheepish look on his face. Excuse me? Kushina looked at him. Nothing at all. He moved back to sit with her. Back with the audience. Back with the orb. Minato never said anything about it. That's right. I'm your... Before she could continue, Naruto pulled her into a hug. Back with the audience. So I get punched and you get a hug. Life is truly unfair, Minato complained. Stop complaining, you big baby, Kushina laughed. Back with the orb. Chains exploded from Naruto's body, wrapping around the Nine Tails. Still inside with Kushina, Naruto imagined himself with red hair. You got such pretty red hair. I wish I'd inherited that from you, though. Kushina laughed. You're the second man to ever compliment my hair. Who was the first? Your dad, of course. She beamed. Back with the audience. Obito gagged while Rin giggled. Minato flushed red like a beet. Back with the orb. As the chains kept the Nine Tails in place, Naruto slammed many Rasengans into it. At long last, the chakra flowed out and seeped into Naruto. In its place stood a new form, entirely cloaked in the Nine Tails chakra. Naruto looked like the incarnation of pure chakra. Back with the audience. Cool, Obito gushed. Can you show us? What? Naruto looked surprised. He looked around the room. Everyone else seemed equally as curious. Even the third Hokage inched closer from his desk. Oh, I guess I can. Inoji took his hands away from Naruto as he sat up from his chair and stood in the middle of the room. Naruto's eyes closed in concentration as everyone held their breaths, waiting. Naruto's body was suddenly cloaked with yellow flames. His skin from head to toe was all covered in orange chakra. A sort of circular design is featured prominently over his stomach. The whisker-like markings on his face become thicker to resemble the three trigram. 6 Magatama markings are present around his collars. Various other dark designs appear along his body, appearing densely enough to give the appearance that he's wearing a bodysuit beneath the yellow coat. A pattern consisting of a Rinnegan-like marking above 9 Magatama also appeared on his back. 6 truth-seeking orbs floating just behind him. Tsunade dropped her sake ground on the bottle, clanking lightly as it rattled on the floor. Nobody said anything as they looked in his new form. Whoa, Obito said softly, before he burst out. What the hell? This is amazing! Minato stood up and walked up to Naruto. You look more like a yellow flash than I do, he laughed. Kakashi gave a mumble, not wanting to say how cool it looks as well. Why are these orbs floating behind you? These are the truth-seeking orbs. I can bend them into any kind of weapon or shape. It also has the nasty side effect of disintegrating anyone that touches it. Naruto awkwardly said the last part. Jiraiya inched his hand further from the orb, coughing. So, that's what it does. Kushina ran a hand through the flame-like chakra. It floated across her hand like smoke. Hiruzen sensed the immensely dense chakra around the room. A sudden cracking made everyone look at the window. I think you should shift back, Naruto. The room will break if you don't control your chakra, but I'm holding back at least 50% already. The form vanished as Naruto made a move back to the seat, the audience breathing slowly to calm their breathing hearts. The scene started up again. Naruto standing in his new form. Why does it look different from what you showed us just now? Hiruzen asked. That form was when I got a power boost from the Sage of Six Paths. What? He's real? I thought he was just a myth. Jiraiya asked, wide-mouthed. Back with the orb. The atmosphere changed as Naruto stood with Kushina. I was the previous host of the Nine Tails. Let's start there. Back with the audience. Looks like we finally have another chance to know more about our son. Minato smiled at Kushina. Back with the audience. Back with the orb. Ah, man, I keep messing up with the audience and the orb. Oh well, back with the orb. The masked man that attacked the village knew when the seal would be at the weakest, during childbirth. A memory started. Kushina was screaming in pain. It hurts. Back with the audience. Are you saying it's okay to show this? There are children here. Kashi eyed Obito. Hey, I know that I'm childish, but hey, come on. Obito stuck his tongue out at Kakashi. Kushina blushed slightly. Back with the orb. And I've never seen her in such pain before. Will she be alright? Minato asked. Of course. Just keep an eye out on the Nine-Tailed Seal. Back with the audience. Bivako. Hiruzen heard his voice of his wife. Come on. Back with the orb. You can do it, Kushina. You can do it, Naruto. Kushina screamed even more. Naruto, come out, Nine-Tails, you can stay in. A baby crying could be heard as Naruto was swaddled in clothing. Minato wiped tears from his eyes, chuckling, I'm a father now. Naruto, I finally get to see you. Kushina said tiredly. Back with the audience. Cute. Tsunade smirked. Rin cooed at the baby. Back with the orb. Suddenly, Bivako and Taiji fell to the ground. Back with the audience. Bivako! Hiruzen jumped at the sight of his wife falling to the ground injured. Back with the orb. Fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze, step away from the host of the Nine Tails. If you don't, this child won't live a minute longer. The masked man held a kunai to Naruto's body. Wait, calm down. I am perfectly calm. You're the one that needs to calm down, Minato. The masked man threw Naruto into the air, holding the kunai underneath it. Back with the audience. Naruto! Kushina yelled. Back with the orb. Naruto! In an instant, Minato was sticking to the wall, holding Naruto. I expected nothing less from the yellow flash, but how will you deal with the next one? Bomb tags were stuck to the cloth, but Minato was faster. Teleporting outside with Naruto in tow, he had placed a teleporting kunai in advance, but now he was separated from Kushina. In an undisclosed location, Minato sat Naruto down on a bed. Just wait here a bit, Naruto. I have to go save your mother. As the masked man threatened Kushina, a Sharingan spun in his eye. Back with the audience. An Uchiha? Obito asked. Naruto choked on air as Minato bit his lip, knowing who was already underneath the mask. The biggest question was what motivated Obito to target his family. Even Minato failed to bite back the instinct to protect his family, leaking just the slightest bit of murderous intent. The room chilled for just a bit but vanished just as quickly. Back with the orb. Now come out of there, Nine Tails. The Nine Tails erupted with a thunderous roar, shaking the ground around them. Back with the audience. The audience shivered, Kushina especially. This was one of her worst nightmares, and it was happening in front of her eyes now. Back with the orb. The masked man commanded the Nine Tails, sending its large hand hurtling towards Kushina. You are the host, and now I'll use him to kill you. Minato teleported then away. Naruto, is he alright? Kushina asked. Yeah, he's in a safe place right now. Kushina's eyes fluttered. Thank goodness. Minato, you have to stop the Nine Tails. It's headed for Konoha. Minato vanished, putting Kushina with Naruto. He put on a fourth Hokage's code. I'll be right back. Back with the audience. Kushina started sobbing. Kushina, are you alright? Does it look like I'm alright? This is probably where we both die. Knowing about something and watching it were two entirely different things. Back with the orb. Minato landed on his stone monument, the Nine Tails sensing him and preparing a chakra bomb. So you sense me, huh? He weaved hand seals and a large space-time barrier appeared and wrapped it to the mountainside. The masked man appeared behind Minato as he swung a kunai, but it simply went through his head. The masked man grabbed Minato's arm. You have to fight me and it's over. As Minato was being sucked away, he teleported. You're fast. An instantaneous battle commenced, with Minato flashing above the masked man and slamming a Rasengan into his back. Back with the Ooh, go sensei! Obito cheered. Kick his butt! Rin cheered alongside. Jiraiya felt very proud of his student, letting him know by patting his back. Back with the orb. Minato summoned Gamabunta, crashing it down on the Nine Tails. I'm taking this with me. The Nine Tails vanished underneath the toad alongside with Minato. I can still fight Minato. Long chains sprouted from Kushina's back, entirely covering the Nine Tails. Looks like I woke up, Naruto. Back with the audience. My god, you look horrible. Tsunade said, her eyes widened. Kushina wiped her tears away, still stiffening. Back with the orb. I'm going to draw the Nine Tails in and kill myself. That way I can put off its resurrection. That's the only way that my remaining chakra can help you. Kushina wheezed painfully. Back with the audience. No. Minato held her hand tighter, his face deathly pale. Back with the orb. Kushina, you made the fourth Hokage. You made me a man. You made me a father. And yet, don't look at me like that, Minato. She smiled. I'm happy you love me and it's his birthday. If there's one thing I regret, it's that I won't be able to see him grow up. Back with the audience. Minato was openly crying now, his Genin team comforting him. Even Kakashi joined them. It's alright, Minato sensei. You can change this now. Rin told him, who was also sobbing. Back with the orb. Kushina, there's no need for you to die with the Nine Tails. Back with the audience. What? Minato looked at the screen. Back with the orb. I'll seal your remaining chakra inside Naruto with a symbol seal. The Reaper, that seal, as I like to call it. Then I'll take him down alongside with that seal. The Nine Tails. You know? I'll see the Nine Tails inside Naruto. But back with the audience. The true value of a man is shown when he is facing his death. Hiruzen said solemnly. Back with the orb. Have faith in this child. He is our son after all. Back with the audience. Minato sensei. Rin pointed to the now smaller Nine Tails, the chains holding him weak because Kushina deteriorating chakra levels. Look out! The large and sharp claw flew down, aiming at Naruto, who was laid down on the altar the Minato had summoned. No! Kushina wailed. The large claw impaled both Minato and Kushina. I told you this is something a father could do. Kushina laughed. Then a mother would do even better, right? Kushina, you're not going to last much longer. I start the scene now. I want to put some of my chakra inside Naruto as well. You won't see him for a while, so tell him what you want to say. Minato started weakly waving hand seals. Naruto, don't be picky eater. Take a bath every day and keep warm. And don't stay late up at night. Get enough sleep and make friends. You don't need a lot of friends, but just a few true friends that you can trust. And speaking of vices, look out for Jiraiya. Back with the audience. Jiraiya laughed a wheezing laugh as salty tears trickled dripping down on the ground from his face. Back with the orb. Naruto, as your father, I'll just second everything your mother just said, he said over the sounds of Kushina sobbing. Back with the audience. Kushina broke down similarly with Minato, who bit his lip so hard to drew out his blood. Even Hiruzen Sarutobi had wet eyes. I'm sorry, she gasped. Back with the orb. Don't apologize. I went through a lot because I was the host, but I never hated you or dad. Back with the audience. Kushina slowly looked up at the screen. Huh? Back with the orb. I know there was a lot of love inside me before the Nine Tails. I'm happy. I'm glad you guys were my parents. Back with the audience. Kushina was sobbing mess now. Minato, did you hear that? Our love reached him. Minato grabbed Naruto, letting his tear drip into the blonde mess of hair. Yeah. Back with the orb. Thank you for being born to us, Kushina said before she vanished back, the last of her chakra finishing. I'll be even cooler than dad, and even stronger than mom, Naruto declared. Back with the audience. Kushina pulled Naruto closer, the three of them sharing a hug. It seems we shall stop here for today. Please get lots of rest and I will see you all tomorrow. Mom, can't breathe. Kushina laughed as she released him, eyes still red and puffy from crying. You're such an amazing kid. And an amazing son, Minato said, filling in the blanks. Naruto gave the widest smile of his life. Believe it. Chapter. Naruto yawned as he stretched. The bed inside his parents' house was pretty damn comfortable. Breakfast, Kushina's voice rang out. She waited for a beat and when no answer came, yelled even louder, causing the two blondes to stumble to the living room groggily. Coming. Both blondes rushed out to see an angry Kushina holding a fry pan. Dad, what's mom doing? Naruto asked sheepishly. I don't know, son, Minato whispered, eyes never leaving Kushina, much like a rabbit eyeing a lion. She's just standing there menacingly. A tomato was promptly thrown at him. I can hear you both here now. They all shared a laugh as they waffled down breakfast before going to the Hokage's tower again. Hey Namikaze, Tsunade appeared from a small ramen bar. Lady Tsunade, it's only 10 in the morning. Why are you drinking? Be quiet, pretty boy, using the flying Raijin and teleport us all now. Tsunade huffed. Her breath smelled faintly of rice sake. How do you even know if I'm at the Hokage's basement? Tsunade cracked her fist. What was that? Nothing. Kushina, your feet hurt from walking, right? What? That's right. Off we go. Minato grabbed Kushina and put a hand on Tsunade's shoulder, grabbing Naruto grabbing his father's shoulder as well. In an instant, they all appeared inside the basement. Jiraiya was already seated, holding a large bag of dangos dipped in sweet sauce. Punctuality was never your strong point, Tsunade. She huffed as everyone made their way to their seats. Now that everyone is seated, we shall begin. Inuichi nodded. The orb started. The scene appeared to a large desert area where many shinobis from different villages were lined up. The crest that they were wearing was never seen before. It had the kanji symbol for shinobi. Back with the audience. What is this? Hiruzen asked. This is the large shinobi force, Naruto grinned. It's formed after Tobi, the masked guy, declared the fourth war. Tobi? Hiruzen experimentally said. Back with the orb. Will we be okay with a kid like that, commanding general? Lord Gara's not an ordinary kid. Just keep your mouth shut if you don't know what you're talking about, a sand shinobi retorted. How am I supposed to know? We were enemies not that long ago, you know. Yeah, well, I don't exactly trust you guys either, so just watch your mouth. A fight broke out within the two. Back with the audience. No one seems to trust each other, Jiraiya sighed. It's no surprise, they all are expected to work together, but the rivalries are still fresh, especially during the sand and stone. Here's an added on. Back with Orb. Gara intervened, knocking them both aside with his sand. In the first through third villages and wars, each country and village fought for their own gains, as ninja hated and hurt each other. That hatred bred a lust of power, which gave birth to me. I too used to be a host of embodiment of hatred and power. I hated everyone and wanted to destroy the world, just as the Akatsuki is attempting to do now. But one Konoha ninja stopped all that. He was my enemy, but he cried for me. I hurt him, but he called me his friend. He saved me. We were enemies, but he was a host too. There are no grudges when you understand one another's pain. Back with the audience. You're famous, Naruto, Rin said, looking at the blonde teen in awe. Naruto blushed as he rubbed the back of his head. And for all the good reasons too, Minato said proudly. Back with the orb. There are no enemies here. We have all suffered because of Akatsuki. There is no village here. We are just all ninjas. The enemy is now after that very friend who saved me. If the enemy gets their hands on him, the world will be over. I want to protect my friend and protect this world. But I am too young to protect this world alone. I am too green. So please lend me your strength. Back with the audience. A fine speech. Hiruzen looked on the screen, took a long drag from his pipe. It seemed the sand has found a wise Kazekage. They really did. Naruto nodded. Amazing. All these shinobis from all the villages working together as one. If you told me something like this could happen, I'd beat the crap out of you. Tsunade said as she watched the allied shinobi forces work as one. Back with the audience. Back with the orb. The crowd cheered. If you're with me, then follow me. The 4th grade ninja war is here, and we will be the victors. Yeah, the cheer was heard from the crowd. Back with the audience. Tsunade. And that's the Raikage. Hiruzen looked at the last person. Is that the fancy Oniki? Hiruzen barked a laugh. It seems I'm not the only one that has aged. Jiraiya smiled at his mentor. Question. Rin raised her hand. What is it? If you weren't here to see all this, how come we're seeing it now? Naruto thought for a moment. Maybe it was because I was constantly in the Nine-Tails Chakra form. I could sense everything. Rin was still confused a little bit but nodded her head, accepting the answer. That just means we get to see more battles, Obito beamed. Link break. Back with the orb. We're ready. So, Sensei, you better get ready too. That's Inoichi sucked in a breath. Is that? Naruto nodded. Yes, that's your daughter, Ino Yamanaka. My daughter, huh? Inoichi tasted the words on his tongue. He had a daughter. She had grown up so beautifully and strong, just like her mother. I take it's that Shikaku's and Chozo's kids, Inoichi said. Yeah, Shikamaru and Choji. They're both my close friends. Back with the orb. Choji, Shikamaru, Ino. You've become truly great, Asuma said. Back with the audience. Asuma died? Hiruzen said slowly. He got killed taking down 2 members of Akatsuki. I see. Hiruzen nodded, looking at the screen. Were all his loved ones destined to die one by one? He questioned himself in his thoughts. Back with the orb. Shikamaru used the shadow mimic to bring me over to Choji. Shikamaru did just that, and Choji leaned in for a punch but stopped shortly just before Asuma's face. What are you doing? I can't do it. I can't beat up our sensei. Get out of the way. Asuma shot a sharp gust of dust at Choji, who was tackled out of the way by Ino. Choji's face changed from diving deep into his thoughts. A pair of flaming blue butterfly wings emerged from his back. I've got to change on my own. Back with the audience. It seems this generation's Inoshika-cho is doing very well, Inichi commented. We should call Shikaku in here soon. Back with the orb. That cocoon must have been sturdier than you expected. Choji. Now think you can take a fight? Asuma said. Choji clenched his fist. Hell yeah! A solid punch connected with Asuma, sending him flying and crashing into the wall. I've got nothing more to say to you three. Your Inoshi Kacho formation was perfect. Link break. Back with the orb. The scene changed to Naruto panting in the Nine Tails form. You stinking up the joint cause you're stopping working hard. Lying there like a tub of lard. Well, earlier I swear I sensed the Nine Tails chakra, but there's no way anyone besides me has this chakra, right? Back with the audience. Smart kid, Tsunade said. He's catching on. The scene kept on moving until Naruto was almost at the exit, but was stopped by Iruka himself. Ah, traitor. Kushina narrowed her eyes at him. Back with the orb. The shinobis got blown out of the waterfall. Naruto leaped outwards. The sage mode, sensing everything around him, flashing of the water started coming through. Flashes of the war started coming through his mind. What is this? War? Madara making a move? What is going on, Iruka sensei? War is going on, Naruto. Madara is making his move, Iruka said. Iruka? Naruto is not a fool. Our only choice now is to explain the situation rationally. Back with the audience. Rationally? Oh, if he inherited anything from me, it'll be my recklessness, Kushina said. I don't think that's a good thing, Minato nervously said. Wait, did you... Iruka sensei just say Madara? As in Madara Uchiha? Obito asked. He died a long time ago, didn't he? You'd be surprised, Naruto gulped. You're telling me one of the oldest Uchiha members is alive? Alive and a main participant in the 4th grade ninja war. Dear Lord, Jiraiya slapped a hand on his head, not believing it. Back with the orb. Naruto broke free from their bindings and leapt away. Back with the audience. Told ya, reckless. Kushina cheered. Minato and Jiraiya groaned. Back with the orb. I've been seeing you this whole time. In Naruto's heart. I don't know what you did for him, but that kid thinks the world of you. Unlike my rap, that damn fool. Be rapped. Everything you taught him is still inside, even today. Your words have protected him all the way. Back with the audience. So he's a good person after all. Minato remembered how he had wanted to sacrifice his own life to take his own during their encounter. The Nine Tails came on the screen. Kushina tilted her head. Is it just me, or has the Nine Tails become cuter? Cuter? How? Minato looked at the screen. Why don't you ever compliment me? Is someone jealous? Kushina leered. No. Back with the orb. Naruto, I've always been inside you. I've watched every day of your life, and you are always too naive. Well, isn't this a rare treat? You're coming to talk to me. Has feeding on my chakra brought you back to normal? I get it. You finally wanna be friends because you're lonely in here. And I'm busy now. We'll talk later. You don't understand anything, you gullible fool. Can you really bear or erase all that rage, that hatred? The moment I start second guessing myself, it's all over. I'll do something about Sasuke and this stupid war. Back with the audience. Standing up to the Nine Tails, who would have thought? Jiraiya said. Tsunade nodded her head. Such a badass, Obito mused. Back with the orb. The Raikage and Tsunade crashed down in front of B and Naruto. I can't sit around while everyone's out there sacrificing themselves for me. If we win the war, but they all end up dead, it's all meaningless then. I won't stand for it. Enough complaining. You're not getting through me. Back with the audience. As they watched the Raikage keeping up with Naruto's speed, they shook their heads. How are going to get past this brat? Even if you got past him, I'm still there. Tsunade waved her hands. I have a feeling that A doesn't like me cause I dodged his attack that one time. Minato's forehead beaded sweat. Back with the orb. I am the fastest shinobi alive, now that the 4th Hokage has passed away. You know my dad? We butted head one or more than one occasions. He was a great man, one I thought would never be surpassed. One of the Leaf's legendary Sanin, Jiraiya called him the destined child, the savior of this world. But he was our savior. Why are we facing this crisis? Because he failed to deal with the nine-tailed fox. And you, his son, have learned nothing. Back with the audience. Minato clenched his fist at this word. Back with the orb. Both idiots who runs their mouth without being sure of anything. But he was cut off. Don't talk about my dad like you know him. My dad, the fourth Hokage, didn't fail at all. Back with the audience. Yeah, Kushina nudged Minato, who was still taking in his son's word. Looks like Naruto kept his faith. Yeah, Minato was still a little dazed from the speech. Back with the orb. An emotional battle broke out between B and A. Their faith. Faith that I could finish the job. Faith that I could fulfill the role as a savior. Naruto pointed to his headband. A silence came over them before A closed his eye and pushed B aside before powering up to his full chakra levels. Get ready, Naruto. I've been giving a lot of my responsibilities. Naruto began. Back in the audience. It's just like that time when I fought him. Minato looked on. Back with the audience. Back with the orb. Just before A hit fist hit Naruto, he appeared in front of A. I won't screw up. Back with the audience. That was just like a yellow flash, Naruto said. Back with the orb. I wanted to test you in my own way. I came at you with the intent to kill. You're only the second person to dodge my top speed punch. It seems our savior is alive and well, he's inside of you, kid. A side. Get going now. Yes, sir. Naruto vanished in a flash of lightning. Link break. Back with orders. That's my boy. Minato put a hand through Naruto's hair. Minato sensei, Obito said. It's still not too late. How about we go get some dinner? Minato nodded happily before jerking to a stop, eyeing Obito suspiciously. What's your alternative motive, Obito? Obito laughed nervously. I just wanted to spar with Naruto a little. Even if Kakashi and Trin wanted to. Minato looked at Kakashi and Trin, who were slightly nodding their heads. Even Kakashi? Minato was surprised the usual neutral boy took an interest in his son. Only if Naruto is okay with it, that is. I'm down. Naruto gave a thumbs up, to which Minato sighed. Looks like he won't be getting an early night's sleep anytime soon, as this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and please do check out What If Naruto Was in a Political Marriage Part 26. And I have come to a decision that I'm going to be uploading both series one day at a time and one episode at a day. Like, for instance, tomorrow I'm going to be uploading the political marriage one, and after the day tomorrow I'll be uploading this series. So stay tuned for that, and this is Apollo Uchiha and I am signing out. Peace.